Oh, music is kind of loud. Hello. Good evening, chat. How are you? I think the music is still kind of... It is loud for me. I don't know if it's loud for you. Oh, sorry. Let's go for this one. Hello. I'm here. I think my mic is all working too, so... We are here again. I brought Jess fan art with me because I couldn't bring it on stream last time, so I am going to bring it with me this time. You can see it here. Brought Jess with me. I actually don't know if Jess is here today. I don't think she is, but maybe she'll come later. But here's the fan art. How's it going, guys? How are you today? Everything's fine? I'm sorry, I'm tired. Okay. Yes. Let me just, start the game. So we can start. Oh, wow. The fancy music. Wait, I need to turn on the music. Shut up. Wait a second. Whenever I'm opening this game, I cannot do anything else, so I need to turn the music out first and then start the game. Okay, the fancy music is back. Let me know if the sound's too loud or if I'm too quiet or whatever. You know how it is. Let's see. That is... Everything's fine, that's good. Just need to... That's wrong, wait a second. Let me bring the game on stream. There we go. I can save the game manually? I didn't know. Okay, the autosave data should be fine though. Okay, hopefully everybody can remember where we stopped. Oh, I think you cannot... where do I put him? Where do I put him? Here, on the chat. Yeah, we are still with Brett. So, yes. I would say we are going to continue right now. Because I am pretty sure that we are not far from, you know, I mean stuff, right? So, let's dive right into it. The two of us talked it through in front of the computer. We discussed what we were going to do. We were going to report the protest to the police so that the number of victims could be reduced. We are topping Brett now. Yeah, I would. Because we were certain it would be impossible to stop the protest altogether. But isn't it too radical? I don't even know what the right thing to do is anymore. We're doing this to protect everyone. Yeah, I know, but the masterminds behind this whole thing are people I grew up with. Some of their family names ran out of them. Family members, not names. Some of their family members ran out on them, and some dabbled with drugs. School or work didn't turn out like they thought it would be. I feel sorry for them. Seeing Brett's sad expression, I felt a sudden sting in my chest. I was brought up in a totally different environment, so it might be arrogant of me to comment on it all. But they're going to get innocent people involved and maybe even hurt them. By holding this protest, they'll be committing crimes and sacrifice their future. I think it would be better to intervene before any of that happens. Brett stared into my eyes seriously. His eyes were so deep that they seemed to be absorbing all of my words. You're a very upright person. Not really. You may look like a kid, but your mind is quite mature. I have no idea if I should take this as a compliment. Take it as a compliment, he said. Sussy boy.
Hi.
Okay then. Even so, you're not lying to me, right? Do you think I will lie? Yeah, of course not. Brett's voice was nonchalant as he looked up at the ceiling. Even though we hadn't known each other for long, I liked Brett's straightforward approach for everything. His expression was very different from the one he had been wearing on the first day we met. As if he were a different person. Hinata, could you teach me how to type properly?
Huh?
Eh? I thought he was joking, but as soon as he began to type on the keyboard, I realized his hands were moving really slowly. Oh, you're already quite good at it. You're a really bad liar. Rather than me teaching you how to type, I think you should practice more. Will you practice? What is this kind of conversation?
Huh?
Your voice was so low, I couldn't hear you properly. He's a boomer! Yeah, kinda. I think he had other things to do than typing on the computer, so maybe that's why. Brett, is he a little sulky? Why do we need to write this down on the computer anyway? In this day and age, we should remember that analog writing is important too. Why don't we write it down manually instead? He really is a boomer. Brett kept her pen and held it over a piece of paper. Alright, what shall we write about first? I think it's more personal to write something down by hand, but it'll be quicker if we use a digital document. I can type, just leave it to me. This is however I feel when Ilya is teaching me stuff about YouTube, so I can relate to this. He agreed quite really. After that, I listened to Brett's Excuse me, I'm too stupid to read today. Again. After that, I listened to Brett's explanation and made up a strategy for the protest. Brett didn't elaborate much on the details, so it was more like a summary in the end. At this point, it looked like a course of action was quite How do you pronounce this word in English? Plausible? I don't know. Revealing this information to the police might indeed be betraying Brett's pause. I couldn't deny it, but Brett didn't seem to have any more to say as he dozed off next to me. So I started gathering up the notes about this tragedy when I suddenly realized what had been bothering him so much. It seems like the protest is going to be held near Brett's mother's house. Was it really going to turn out okay? I was beginning to get worried. We had come this far, and if we managed to stop the protest, there wouldn't be any problems. Sorry. The possibility of something happening to Brett's mother was very low as it was. What with her being completely uninvolved in the protest. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I shook my head and turned back to the computer again. Wondering what he's dreaming about. Brett was sleeping soundly beside me. I was just in the middle of editing the document. Oh, this is bad. Brett suddenly jumped up and made me yell in surprise. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? Sorry, Hinata, I totally fell asleep. No worries, it's fine. No, it's not fine. How long was I asleep? Probably around 2 hours. What? I'm sorry. I'm going to edit the document from now on, so you can rest for a bit. You will? Brett pushed me aside so that he could sit in front of the computer. What should I do first? Could you please check the finished text? I couldn't say that I wasn't letting Brett type because he was so slow at it, so I decided to give him another task instead. Then the two of us fell silent. It's so quiet, Brett muttered.
No.
It doesn't feel as if there's going to be a violent movement soon. Brett stared quietly at the document in front of him. Why can't we just be happy like other people? Would the upper class really not hear us if we didn't scream and shout like little kids? I wanted to stop emotions from running high, but... My school teacher told me something once. We can become better persons only by questioning the world existence system. However, if the way to becoming a better person is completely blocked, there's nothing much you can do about it. And in the world you grow up in, there doesn't seem to be a way. I clenched my fists. Brett reached out his hand and placed it over mine. His hand was much larger than mine and completely covered it. This is so BL. This is so BL. Really. I mean, this is BL basically, but yeah, this is a 150% BL movement here. This is how I see it. In this world, people from the lower class only exist because of those who are brought up in a stable and healthy environment. That is how society achieves a balance. No way, don't say something like that. Everyone, no matter who they are, has a right to be happy. Exactly. That's why everyone tries to fight their way up to the higher rung, right? Brett grinned. He didn't look downcast. Instead, there was a fire in his eyes. He ruffled my hair as I were a little child. All the same, it felt good and I smiled shyly. Brett, you are really a stand-up guy. I really like the way he talks. Seriously. Brett's index finger twirled around my hair. As he did that, a chill went down my spine. I wondered what that feeling was. Brett, I'm ticklish. I was painfully aware of the fact that my face was flushed. Ticklish? Where? Your neck maybe. Now we are going to get the Sasamiya scene. My body flinched automatically. Brett flashed me an amused smile. Then he slowly moved his lips towards my ear. Shall we have some fun? The The words he was whispering made my whole body tremble. It was right at that moment. He destroyed our moment! Rude! I was so ready for the kissing scene. Wait a second, I need to drink something. Okay. So, he disturbed us. Oh, they both did. Is this a new roommate? He's cute. Two guys suddenly appeared in the living room. They took me completely by surprise. PP blocked, yeah. What are we going to do? I mean, if it was me, I would jump right away, but I think Hinata wouldn't do this. So we're going to jump back. I was so flustered that I automatically increased the distance between Brad and me. Yeah, you don't have to move away so pointedly, you know. What is with you guys? Your timing is terrible. Yeah, I think so too. Brad was wearing a sulky expression. The living room is a shared area. We can choose to turn up here anytime we want to. That's true, but we won't disturb you, so we don't mind if you guys continue. Does he want to watch?
No.
Alright, Hinata, let's continue in my room. There's a bed there. I think that's more comfortable anyway. Idiot, I mean the document? Sure you do mean the documents. I hastily made to follow him. Wait a minute, what kind of secret documents are we talking about? I saw Alan picking up a piece of paper that had fallen to the ground. Protest and escape route? This is too elaborate to be fun for. Brett was at a loss of words at the sign of Alan with the document in his hands. What should I say? This looks like an interesting plan. Are you going to hold a protest with your friends sometime soon? The third roommate was smiling while he talked. His aura seemed kind and his demeanor was soft, but his words had a dangerous ring to them and he scared me somehow. No, you guys shouldn't concern yourself with this. Brett snatches the piece of paper out of Alan's hand. Speaking of which, I haven't introduced myself. You're Hinata, right? I'm Chad Coleman. It's nice to meet you. Don't ignore me. It's nice to meet you. I took Chad's outstretched hand and shook it. In the end, we told the other what was going on. Since we lived in the same apartment, they would have found out about the protest eventually. It seems like it'll take some time, so why not hang out with us? The whole thing sounds fun. Yeah, it sounds fun, right? You should really do something about that awful habit of considering everything fun. Why should he? Also, I feel like drinking tonight. I don't enjoy hanging out with Chad, but since Hinata is here, I think it'll be interesting. Alan put an arm around me. I flinched, but at that moment his arm was pulled away again. You lost, remember? I'm Hinata's bodyguard. I just wanted to talk to him tonight, not act as his bodyguard. Yet another interesting development. Everyone... No one seemed to be listening and the conversation just carried on without me. Foreigners are really tall. No, I guess it's not everyone. Those people just all look like models. Well then, to summarize, Brett and Hinata are dating. You just dropped this out of nowhere. I had no idea what to say, so I just looked helplessly at Brett. Well, our relationship is hard to explain. Won't they misunderstand? So, the two of you haven't agreed on it yet?
いや
Not yet, right, Hinata? What? Me? First of all, I'm a guy. Everyone gets that, right? I don't think they did, to be honest. Yes, we know that, and we also know that Brett is gay. Yeah, okay, yeah, this guy is dropping bombs out of nowhere. He said it so smoothly that it shut me up. I knew it already, but talking about it so openly made everything feel more real. And Hinata likes Brett, right? I have a keen sense about stuff like that. No, I just couldn't say out loud that I like Brett. He was right in front of me, and we're both guys. Somehow, I just wasn't ready to accept that yet. In any case, I like him. Love grows over time, and... Are you really the right person to lecture us about this? Don't look down on my emotions. Let's open a red wine tonight.
Oi.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. I chuckled automatically. I had no idea whether these people had a good or bad relationship with each other. But they all seem like good guys. Yeah, except for this one. I don't trust him. Well then, Hinata. Why don't we ignore those two noisy jerks? You can write up a plan for the protest with me. Chet nonchalantly wrapped an arm around my middle.
おい
Hey you, what do you think you're doing? You can hang out with Alan in the meantime. We'll have a good time. Seriously guys, I don't trust this guy. I don't trust him. I don't know. What do you mean by a good time? Brett sounded pissed off and got between Chad and me. Whose beer is this? Over in the kitchen, Alan had opened the fridge and was holding up a can of beer. That's mine, you can't have it. Come on, just this once.
Oi.
Keep your paws off of it. Then I'll share with Hinata. That's even worse! It was a lively atmosphere and a great evening. I looked at everyone around me and began to wonder. One day I'll have to leave. And all problems had been settled, there would be no reason for me to stay here anymore. If that happened, just when I was becoming restless, all of these thoughts chasing each other around in my head, the others pulled me back to earth again. It was impossible to worry about anything with Brett at my side. That's the reason to stay, boy! He is the reason to stay. After that, we all had another round to drink. Someone called out to me. Of course.
なあ
Whoa!
While I was busy cleaning up, Brett suddenly put an arm around my shoulders. Smishio's eyes looked a little glassy. I wondered if it was because of the
お前っ
alcohol.
てほんと可愛いよな
You're really cute. Why would you say that all of a
突然
sudden?
どうしたんですか
Brett touched my hand that was holding a bottle.
と
Got it. Brett caught the bottle as it slipped out from between my fingers.
危なかった
That was dangerous.
あれお前でもそんな風に
this
怒れ
is
るんだ
what it's like when
けど
you're
全然
angry.
怖くないし逆にセクシーかも
But you're not scary whatsoever. Actually, it's kind of sexy.
だから
Like I
ふざけない
said,
でくだ
stop
さいってば
fooling around.
ふざけてねえよさっきも一人で片付けしてるお前見て浴場したわけだ
I'm not fooling around. I was just watching you clean and it kind of turned me on.
浴場
Turned you on? Brett grinned and hugged me from behind. Then he drew even closer and my heartbeat speed up. This is a little too close. I missed the right moment to brush him off. It feels so good to hug you.
そういうこと言わないでください
Please don't say stuff like that.
酔ってこういうのとか
You're drunk, right?
ひなたいろいろあ
Hinata,
りがとな
thanks for everything. Brett's voice was suddenly low and calm. He tightened his
お
hold on
前
me.
のおかげでこうして前に進んでる
Thanks to you, I made it
ひ
this
なた
far.
がいてくれてよかったよ
I'm glad you're here with me.
そんな僕の方こそ助けてもらってボディーガードまでしてもらって
Listen, you're the one who helped me. You became my
それはいい
bodyguard.
んだよ 俺
No
がやり
problem.
たくてやってん
I
だ
wanted it.
じゃあ僕も
Well, it's the same for
や
me.
りたくて
I
やってます
did what I wanted to do. Is that so? Brett smiled and buried his face in my shoulder. It tickled, and I instinctively let out a small gasp. Then...
その声反則。あんまおんない。
That's foul play. Don't try to get me all worked up by making sounds like that.
それはブラッド
Well,
がそんなことを
it's
する
your
から
fault.
あ
So, what would happen if I pushed you
ブ
down?
ラッド
あ。なんて。
Nah, just kidding. Oh man! I want the content! Brett sounded cherry as he let go of me. I felt relieved, but suddenly a little lonely too. I shook my head, trying to shake off that feeling. There were 12 episodes, right? For each of them. One by one, each of the roommates went to bed as night turned into dawn. I had a lot of fun, but eventually I fell asleep. When I opened my eyes again the next day... Yo, you're finally awake? Yeah, he's such a tease, right? I know. I know. Why is his trousers lying on the bed? Brett was already awake. You woke up early. Yeah, well, that's because today is special. What's today? I tilted my head as Brett walked towards me. He looked a little nervous. I need to discuss something with you. What's wrong? You're being so formal. Brett wasn't acting like his usual self. He was being more cautious towards me than usual. How should I put this? But what Chet said yesterday, you know that I'm gay. Yes? I've been wondering what this was about, but I hadn't expected this. Brett was trying to read my reaction and continued nervously. Well, it doesn't really matter who I like or don't like, so please don't worry about it. You can stay here as long as you want. It makes me happy when you're around. I hadn't expected Brett to make such an offer. As surprised as I was, it made me happy at the same time. It is really alright if I stay here indefinitely? Yes, of course. Oh, but please don't think that the only reason I asked you was because I wanted to split the rent with you. Of course, I didn't think this. But please let me pay half of it anyway. I don't want to be a freeloader. Well, since you want to, that's fine, but you really don't have to worry about it. It's just a minor detail. The most important thing is that everyone gets along and has a good time, right? Thank you very much. Alright, next time we have a drink, it should be just the two of us. Sure, mister, it's just a drink, right? Brett's face lightened up and he dropped the formalities. I just want to say okay. Sure, that sounds fun. Brett smiled happily. Thinking about it, we always hang out together, so wouldn't that be the same as usual? No, this would be different. Guess why? How would it be different? It's just not about the drinking. I want us to be in a good mood and do dirty stuff, you know, something like that. What? Brett spoke loudly and seemed quite serious. I was so shocked and embarrassed that my heart began to pound against my chest. Please don't say awkward stuff like that. At least keep your voice down. You're acting weird. What's weird about it? Just go with the flow. The two of us get along well, and we also share a room, right? We would drink together and do some dirty stuff afterwards. It's completely natural. How is that natural? I tried to throw him off course, but Brett's broad grin didn't falter as he came slowly towards me. Oh, so you said something earlier. You said it had nothing to do with who you like or who you don't like. Yeah, I did, but then I changed my mind. I'm going to make you mine. Why are you suddenly so determined? Brett took yet another step forward and cornered me at the edge of the bed. This is bad. This is really bad. I really do like you, if that's what you're worried about. I like you so much that I can't keep it bottled up anymore. Is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen? Brett's eyes were intense as he made his grand declaration. Brett, you're not joking, are you? Nope, I'm serious about this. Brett grabbed both of my shoulders. A weird sound escaped my lips and I pushed him back. But for some reason, he wouldn't budge.
Oi.
I'm perfectly determined. You should be too. It's impossible. No, it's not. Nonsense. I struggled to escape from Brett's grip, but it was no use. Brett sized me even more firmly. Oh, what should I do? Should I really be more determined? At the very moment, that thought crossed my mind. The phone rang! Stop the ringing! Ah! This makes me so mad! Just as I was about to topple onto the bed, the phone saved me. Brett clicked his tongue impatiently and went to pick up. Where are the other guys? There are living other guys! Oh. The call seems to be for Brett and the conversation was brief.
Nah.
Alright, let's go, Hinata. Where are we going? After Brett had hung up the phone, he immediately prepared to head out. I held up the documents we had finished last night. Police station? Instead of responding, Brett just smiled weakly. Is it alright for me to go too? Yeah, you have to. If we're apart, I won't be able to protect you. Brett's word reminded me of the situation I was in. My life was being targeted and I had been kidnapped on the day of my arrival. I became uneasy once again. Even if it's dangerous, I will protect you no matter what. Brett's gaze was strong as he gently rubbed my cheek. But then... Ow. He pinched my cheek and grinned. Alright, let's go. That hurt! I mumbled complaints at his back while marveling at the fact that he really was genius in calming people down. He's so cute.
Huh?
This is... Brett had taken me to the up-down building where I had been held captive. Back then, Brett had come here to talk to his friends. I often used this place, so I know my way around. Brett was true to his words as we made our way through the building, him leading the way, deliberate movements. It's a good place to hide and escape too. That's why it's such a good place to carry out dangerous transaction, you know? It makes sense when you put it like that. I nodded, impressed. So, you've often been involved in dangerous stuff like this? Huh? Are you worried about me? Yeah, of course I'm worried. His direct question made me somewhat embarrassed. Brett and I hovered in front of one of those rooms for a while. Sorry to keep you waiting. Suddenly someone called out to us. I began to tremble involuntarily. I couldn't hear him at all when he approached us. Who's this kid? He's my friend. He's also been thinking of a way to stop the protest. The man looked me up and down for a second, but then his gaze shifted to Brett. I'm glad that you're willing to cooperate. If this will prevent the protest, my friend's sentences will be less served, right? I kind of have a bad feeling about this, to be honest. That's right, so you said that you've summarized everything in the document, right? Yes. Brett passed him the sheets of paper. I could hear Brett swallow. The room was deadly quiet. All we could hear was the sound of pages being turned. Are the names of all the key players are on there? All that I know of. I'm not sure if there might be someone else involved. We only have a few days left before the set date. Please try to stop it. They don't really mean to do anything bad. They just want people to understand the situation and do something to improve it. But they don't know how to go about it, so this is the last resort. That's all. Got it. The man's expressions didn't change in the slightest as he gave a small nod.
Oh.
Since you understand, you'll stop it, right? Brett sounded happy, but the police officer didn't show any reaction and just stowed away the documents. I suddenly felt queasy. I guess this is just a typo and this should mean uneasy. Or did you guys ever heard this word? I mean, I could mistake him because Yeah, you know, English is not my first language anyway, but I never heard queasy? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this is an actual word. Or is it? I don't know. It is? What does it mean? Is it the same as uneasy? Like uncomfortable or stuff like this? I've never heard this in my entire life. What was this feeling? Brett's feelings were being completely ignored. The officer looked like he was crushing Brett's good resolve with a gaze. It made me frustrated. What about my father? When are you going to tell me what's going on with him? I can't talk about that here. I will contact you again later. You can't be serious. Damn. I opened my mouth to blurt out something. Get down! Okay. Thanks for clarifying. Brett yelled and pushed me down to the ground. At the very moment, I heard a gunshot. Then I heard something wavy fall to the ground. I knew it! I knew it! My heart was pounding loudly. Was that sound really a gunshot? The sound of footsteps were echoing around the building. Brett was shielding me with his body, holding me tight. Don't look, Brett whispered into my ear. What? What did you mean? When I looked up at Brett, his face was serious as he tried to peek at what was going on. This guy isn't Brett. Dude, how could you shoot before making sure first? I did it the other way around. Better than to let him escape, right? That's true, but you killed a police officer. That's bad. We need to take whatever Brett gave him. I could hear several male voices and someone rummaging around. They were trying to kill Brett? I peeked through the gap between Brett's arm, even though he told me not to. But I had to confirm it with my own eyes. I felt obliged to do somehow. At the man's feet, I spotted the body of the officer we'd just been talking to. A pool of dark red blood was growing bigger beneath his body. He's dead? Oh no, he's dead. Let's get out of here, Hinata. Brett pulled at my arm. If we didn't escape, Brett and I would be killed as well. I didn't know why, but my feet just wouldn't listen to my mind. Told you not to look, didn't I? The sadness and anger in his voice pierced me. Brett held onto me as we made our way out. Brett, the person. Keep quiet. Let's talk later. And tell me when you finally can move your feet again. Brett tried not to make a sound as he moved. Even so, the tiniest of noises made me shiver. How did we end up like this? I don't want to be a burden, so... After a couple of minutes, I looked up at Brett, who still had his arms around me. Brett, I can walk on my own. Brett stopped as soon as we reached the main street and surveyed me. Man, what is happening in this game? Then he slowly let go of me. But... I staggered and Brett caught me. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't force yourself. It's perfectly normal for you to be in shock right now. His voice was unusually quiet. You're different from us after all. Please don't say that. I had inadvertently raised my voice and Brett quickly covered my mouth. We're being hunted down, so please keep quiet. I nodded and Brett's eyes looked on mine for a moment before he released me. It's just that when you say something like that, you should realize from what you just witnessed, this world is different from the one you know. Yeah, I get that. Brett threw me a quick sideways glance. He didn't say another word after that. He just grabbed my hand as we made our way through the crowd. It felt as if he were distracting himself from me, and it scared the hell out of me. Please don't go away. Brett, I'm not done talking. This time he didn't cover my mouth, so I quietly continued. I was in shock earlier, and that scene is still etched on my brain right now. Never experienced anything like that before. It feels as though the whole world is suddenly different. But that has nothing to do with you and me. That's a personal matter. I felt silent after that. Brett wasn't looking at me. His hand, which was holding mine, was sweating slightly.
Oi.
Do you really mean that?
Hi.
Of course. Aren't you afraid? Yeah, I am, but you promised to protect me no matter what. I stared at his profile as he grimaced. He looked close to tears. Then the shadow of a smile appeared on his lips. You're even more of an idiot than I am. You're ignorant of this world, but you're still not afraid. His grip on my hand tightened. Brett's smile was kind and strong. For some reason, I felt a pang in my heart at the sight of it. He sped up and dove into the crowd around us. A little while later, we reached a cafe and slipped quietly inside. We sank into a couple of seats at the very back and simultaneously let out a sigh in relief. Really sorry about that, Hinata. You don't need to apologize. After all, I'm the one who was hell-bent on contacting the police, and that's why all of this happened. I was still shaken, and Brett gently patted my back. After a while, I felt my heartbeat calm down. But as expected, the image I had seen was still vivid in my mind. It's not your fault. They are serious about this, so it would have happened sooner or later. Either way, I have no intention of joining the protest. Brett's voice was sad. I realized Brett had to be more shocked than I was. His friends were after his life, after all. Usually, Brett was the one to cheer me up. He always tried to help me, but at a time like this, I had to be the one to help him. The way he said, Brett, cheer up. If you talk to them and get them to understand, you might become friends again, like before. Brett smiled listlessly at what I said. I will like that. At that very moment, the sound of the television on the corner of the cafe made us look up. It seems like a group of teenagers are protesting out on the streets. This large-scale protest is turning violently as they vandalize store after store. The police are trying desperately to get a handle of the situation. The newscaster's voice set an urgent to it. Brett, why are they holding it earlier? The date of the protest had still been days away, and yet, is this our fault? They realized that we passed the information on the police. They might have pushed the day forward because they were under pressure. Meanwhile, the television showed young people attacking storefronts. Outside the cafe, we could hear the sound of sirens and commotions in the crowd. Brett's face paled as he looked out of the window. This is bad. They found us. What? We need to run, Hinata. Oh, now things getting intense again? Before he'd even finished the sentences, Brett grabbed my hand and pulled me outside. The crowd was in an uproar. Screams and shouts could be heard all along the streets. Brett and I dashed down the street and tried to find a place to hide. Whew! Wait. This were only 12 episodes per boy, right? So we only have 4 episodes? And I feel like we just started the story. Brett and I shook off our pursuers and finally arrived in a motel. We had thought that it would be safe to hide in the crowd, but what was with the protests going on, it turned out to be a bad idea. So we kept our eyes open for a more secluded place and spotted this motel. Damn it, why did it have to go down like this? Brett punched the wall in frustration. Calm down. At least we managed to find this place, so it could be worse. I was saying it to calm Brett down, but to be honest, I felt uneasy myself. My heart was beating wildly. My thoughts were all jumbled up. Hinata, I said that I would protect you, but I keep getting you into difficult situations like this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still alive. That's an achievement in itself. Yeah, kind of funny though. Brett smiled weakly. What are we going to do now? Brett sat down on the bed and put his head in his hands. Man! I quietly sat down beside him. We finally found a place to stay, but we're in a really messed up situation. Brett turned on the television. It didn't matter which channel he switched to, all of them were showing footage of the protest. I turned my friends against me and now they're after my life. And by the looks of it, you're being targeted by someone as well. So both of us are on the run, aren't we? Brett chuckled dryly. As expected, even Brett was all worked up about this. But we can't hide here forever. Even so, it would be stupid to go out and get ourselves killed. We both agreed on that at least. We were cornered. But if we go to the police, they might do something about it, won't they? The police? Brett didn't seem to like the idea. The situation is a huge mess. I don't think the police would help us. We're just two kids. Ooh? What did I do? But that's your job. Brett nodded as I said that and reached out to me. As he did so, our heads knocked together accidentally. The Japanese police force sure sounds amazing. I don't think Japan is a special case. Sorry, I was being sarcastic. Yeah, I know. Our foreheads were pressed together and I could feel the warmth emanating from him. Our shoulders were touching and we stayed like that for a while. My heart was beating a frantic rhythm in my chest. We should be calming down each other. At a time like this, I trusted Brett's judgment. Hours passed and at some point, I didn't know whether our shoulders were still pressed together or not. Judging from the news reporters on television, the violence on the street was getting worse and worse. Gunshots, screams, smoke, fire. Was that footage actually real? Was that really the streets we had been on today? The police are useless. Brett was muttering under his breath, and I turned to look at him. In the end, I still don't know anything about my father's situation, and they couldn't protect anyone. Are they stone cold inside? How could those officers be that heartless? How are we supposed to protect ourselves? Brett's shoulders were trembling. Calm down. I rubbed his back and he looked at me, biting his lip in frustration. I am calm. I'm calm and angry. The fact that I don't have a gun on me right now proves that. In the past, I would have behaved just like those guys who instigated the protest. I was short-tempered and bloodthirsty. But I'm not like that anymore. Do you understand, Hinata? I nodded once. That's why you're with me right now, right?
Nah.
Alright, Hinata. Let's try calling the stupid police. Really? I might have some useful information for them. In that case, we might be able to prevent any more casualties and stop the protest, right? Brett reached out for the phone. What? I told you you're mistaken. I'm being serious. Listen to me. Hey! Brett was on the phone with the police station. We had thought that Brett's information might be helpful and that as a result the police might protect us, but... Shit, they hung up on me again. The police were in a tricky situation and they wouldn't listen to us right now. Should I try calling them? No, your English isn't that good yet, right? I couldn't deny that. Apart from the officer we met today, I don't know anyone who might help us out. Even though I spoke to various officers, none of them would listen to me. Maybe the whole thing is confidential and that's why they won't talk to you? Even so. Brett fell silent. I also felt like giving up, but since there didn't seem to be any hope at all. However, the sound of the television pulled me back to reality. I sighed dejectedly. I realized Brett was staring at the side of my face. What's wrong? At a time like this, don't you think it's just like in the movies when the leading roles get into trouble and it brings them closer together? Huh? Her companions who are facing a crisis right now, so I think the right thing to do is to get closer to one another. Wait a minute! Are you sober right now? Yeah, of course. I really like you. I've told you that several times before, haven't I? Brett's gaze was steady. He was actually being serious. Relax. You're confused right now. Calm down, take a deep breath or something. Wait, whoa! Brett roughly pushed me down onto the bed. There is no way they are going to get disturbed this time, right? No fucking way. I tried to get him off of me, but of course he was much stronger than I was. This is absolutely uncalled for. It's not. How long are you going to keep teasing me? Tease? That's right. It's like you said, in the movies, they sure end up together, but we still haven't reached the ending though, have we? There are plenty of things to work out, say, right? Huh? I'm not sure if we can actually work them out, so I think it's fine to take a step now. And look, we're both guys, so that makes things complicated.
Yeah.
It doesn't for me. What should I say to that? He was much stronger than I was, so I couldn't change his mind by talking to him. Stop it already, please! I kept punching Brett's chest, but you're just as strong as a girl. What did he just say? In the end, I couldn't talk him out of it, and his face drew nearer. Ayo? Ayo? His body was pressed against mine. Hinata, I often told you that I enjoy teasing you, right? Brett licked my cheek. A shiver ran down my spine. Okay, imagine being in a situation like that. And he's... Wait, I need to hear that again. I'm sorry. We can move on. What are you talking about? Well, your expression clearly told me to tease you some more. I had no such expression. Brett chuckled. He was laughing as though he forgotten everything that had happened. Even though we were in such a situation. No, maybe it was because we were in this situation. Brett's hand creeped up my neck. I squirmed around beneath him, but he just snickered. It's really easy to predict what you're going to do next. Not only are you defenseless, but you have as much strength as a girl. Why would you do this? Brett put his hand on my knee. I kept kicking my leg defensively. Defensively, man! But Brett skillfully pinned me down. I'm really angry right now. At times like this, it's natural for me to want to do with my favorite person when he's right here with me. No, that's not... This feels like listening to BL CDs, oh my god. I was completely defenseless, whatever I did. He pulled off my trousers in one smooth motion. Can we please kiss first? Hello? I hurriedly tried to turn away. Even though I don't dislike Brett, I do dislike this. It's just too much. I didn't know how to handle this confusing situation. I peered imploringly up at Brett, but at that moment he stopped moving. Brett, what's wrong? Brett was staring at the television screen, completely transfixed. The names of the deceased were being aired during the reports on the protest. The number of casualties was climbing steadily. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. 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 I'm not mistaken. My mother's name just came up. She's dead. She's been killed. I recalled the documents we had set up about the protest. Brett's mother's house was situated in the middle of the route. I had caught up my attention at the first time, but I never thought it would end like this. I had no idea what to say. Brett's lips were pressed together tightly, and it looked like he was trying to keep it together with everything he had. Damn, I did this to her. Why did she have to die? I tried talking to him, but he seemed not to hear me. I couldn't stand it any longer and pulled Brett into a hug. Only a moment ago I was struggling against him, but seeing him so unstable, so precarious. I pulled him even closer, trying to put all of those unspoken feelings into the hug. He was trembling. It took a moment for me to realize that he was crying. When I saw that, I felt my stomach drop. Even though I only met his mother once, I couldn't wrap my head around it. That a person could disappear from the world so suddenly. Why? I blurted it out unconsciously, and Brett held onto me more tightly. Why am I like this? I wanted to change. Oh, guys. This is so bad. This is so bad. Brett's sobs swallowed the rest of the sentence. My eyes were also tearing up. Sure, your mother understands how you felt. All I was a delinquent son. Even though I wanted to protect her, I always made her worry and kept making her stuff suffer. I'm sure she understands all of that too. How do you know that? Because she told me herself. She told me that you knew you better than anyone. So, please stop blaming yourself like that. Couldn't stop the protest, and I couldn't protect my mother. All of this is because I couldn't get it together. It's just a nightmare. It's all a lie. Please tell me that. Oh, this breaks my heart. Oh my god, this is so bad. Brett's tears were soaking my clothes. No, we are not going to tell him get a grip. Might be a lie. Nah, I don't think so. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? It might be a lie. Would you like to hear this in a situation like this? I mean, I don't know. Not sure. It's going to be okay is not better. Maybe we could consider that it's just a lie, right? I don't know. I cannot decide. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Let's go with this one. It's going to be okay. I'm here with you. I do whatever I can to support you, even if it only helps the tiniest bit. Thank you, Hinata. This is all just too sudden that we would be separated so soon. I should have talked to her more and told her how I felt. If only I knew this would happen today. Treated her like that. Brett sounded regretful and it made my heart ache. Hey, Hinata, what were my last words to my mother? You were there, right? Please tell me. Why can't I remember? The last moment Brett had with his mother. After their quarrel, he stomped out of the house. It all felt so sad. Please say something.
僕がブラッドのそばにいてあげてほし
She
い。
told me to look after
そう
you.
じゃない。俺はなんて言った？
Oh, guys. What did I say? Hinata. Brett started sobbing into my chest. He cried and cried and cried. All the regret and sadness seemed to be pouring out of him at last. I can't do anything. Really? Nothing. Why do I always get those hard decisions? What do I do? I mean, hugging is comforting, right? But he wasn't that nice to his mother, if I remember this correctly, so... Did we tell him? I still kind of want to consider the option that his mother is not really dead. To be honest. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm gonna tell him. Screw it.
なんでだろうな。
I wonder why. Bretta calmed down a bit and spoke in a husky
母
voice.
さんの笑ってる顔ばっか
Can't remember.
浮かぶ。
It's my mother's smile.
いろんなこと思い出しちまう。
I remember a lot of things. Brett leaned into me, but he wouldn't look at me as he spoke.
全然あの人のこと大切にしてやれなかったし、迷惑ばっかかけてたし。
I didn't treat her right and always caused
あの
trouble.
人だって父さんが出てったから。
She
役
drowned
と酒
herself
に溺れてばっ
in
かり。
drugs and alcohol after my father left us.
それなのに笑顔が。
But her smiling face was still.
それが笑顔が一番大切な思い出だからじゃないですか。
Isn't that the most precious memory you have of her?
そういう
Maybe.
ことかもな。
Brett smiled weakly. I could feel his hot breath on my
一
shoulder.
回だけさ、あの人も含めて父さんと3人でバスケしたことがある。
We all played basketball together, my father
あ
included.
の人びっくりするくらい下手くそで。
My mother was
教え
really
てやっ
bad,
てもできなくて。
even though we tried to teach
け
her.
ど、すっげえ楽しそうに笑ってた。
But she was still smiling the whole
で
time.
きもしないバスケやって、息子にボロクソに言われて。
She played basketball, although she wasn't good at it, and all I did was laugh at her.
それが嬉しいなんて。
But she was still
ど
happy.
うかしてるっつうの。
I wonder why. I listened to him without saying anything. It was only a brief recollection. Why is this so sad? Yeah, you tell me, I don't know. I thought we were going to play some cute BL ship, but this is actually... I don't know. I don't know, this is too sad. But to Brett, it was a precious memory of his family. And irreplaceable.
俺、
Just wanted to make her smile.
笑顔にしてやりたかったんだ。母さんのこと。もう一度笑顔にしてやりたかった。
I really wanted to see her smile like that again.
本当は
That's all I wanted, but...
それだけだったのに。
Brett grabbed the front of my shirt and his voice broke.
僕、
Listen, here's how I see it.
ブラッドとブラッドのお母さんはちゃんと親子だなって
You were
心
family.
の奥では分かり合ってたし、
Deep down, the two of you always understood
お
each
互い
other.
にちゃんとお互いのことを思い合ってたんだから。
You were both thinking of each other all the time.
ひなと、
Hinata,
悪
sorry,
い。も
but
うちょいこうしてていい。
can we stay like this a little longer?
もちろんです。鼻かんでもいいですよ。
You can blow your nose if you like. Do you say this in some kind of situation? Or is Hinata offering him to blow his nose inside his shirt? I don't know.
バカ。買うかよ。
Idiot. I'm not going to do that. Brett smiled weakly as he clung to me. After Brett had finally calmed down a little, we headed over to the mother's house. Tell me she's alive! She's alive, right? Chat, she's alive. No, she's not alive! What? Oh no! She really died. Now I'm sad. No! Oh, guys, why? The funeral for Brett's mother was quite a affair. Relatives and close friends attended. Ellen and Chad came too. Even at the funeral, Brett and I were still painfully aware of the danger we were in. Ellen and Chad knew that, so they agreed to come along for our sake. Brett was standing next to me, and his eyes were still red and puffy. Before we had gone out, Brett had smiled wryly and noted that he looked absolutely miserable. His expression now and his image of his mother's face when he saw her last were shockingly similar. My heart ached. Yes, even though we're in this situation, I'm still his mother. I know him very well. Yeah. We're very alike. Both of their smiles were etched into my heart. It'll be okay. I'm sure she understood you. I'm not sure if Brett had heard me properly. My words may have been carried away by the wind. However, I thought I saw him give the tiniest nod. This is too sad. That guy. Brett spoke softly. He was looking at a man who was standing apart from everyone else. He was wearing sunglasses and his face was almost covered by his head. What's wrong? I'm sure that's him. Brett was already walking towards the man. I hesitated for a second, then followed him.
Nah.
Are you my father? Brett stared into his eyes through the sunglasses. Brett, what are you saying? I've looked up at photos of him so often. This man is my father. As he said that, I realized that they did give off the same kind of vibe. So the only way to get you to turn up was a funeral? Brett, you shouldn't say that. It's fine. I'm the one who made him say things like that. Their voices were quite similar too. It suddenly hit me. This person didn't seem like a bad person, no matter how I looked at him. I knew because, just like Brett, there was so much kindness in his voice. Thinking about it, you never came by once to check on me or Mom, did you? Even though they were father and son, Brett's voice was cold. Your mother would be sad to see you cry like this.
Yeah.
That might be true, but Brett narrowed his eyes. Say something. You don't want to cause a fuss here, do you? Brett's father stared at him pensively. I could tell from the lines on his face that he was seriously thinking about something. Is this really the man who savagely abducted his family? The police said they knew your whereabouts. Was that a lie? Where were you and what were you doing? Since we were at the funeral, Brett was trying to keep his voice down, but it still carried across the graveyard. Brett's eyes were burning with questions. No. Brett, I didn't turn up beside Brett. What is it? Something's wrong. Some strangers are mixed in with the friends and family attending the funeral. No. Huh? Brett and his father Bruce drew in a sharp breath. And then, as though looking for a spot to hide, they scanned their surroundings. I was simply confused and didn't know what to do. Those men in black over there, who are they?
Yeah.
They're not amateurs, they're professionals. Huh? Professionals? I can tell just by their smell. They're most likely assassins. I have no idea who it is, but they came here to eliminate their target. That would be me. Huh? Don't look at them. If they begin to suspect something, it's all over. You. Don't say that as though you know everything. Goodbye, Brett. I'm really sorry. Oh, wait. Brett's father turned to leave, but Brett grabbed his arm firmly. Why are they after you? Not going to get you involved. Brett's father was about to heat off again. Then Chad suddenly appeared in front of us. Going to shake them off. He smiled lightly. But you put yourself in danger. Hinata, be quiet. Just leave it to Chad. You guys should keep your heads down for now. I'll let you know when it's safe.
すまない。
Sorry. I owed you one anyway.
そうですね。
I knew I knew Chet's voice too. Can anybody look up his voice actor, please? Sadly, I did too. What's going on here? When the conversation had ended, everyone naturally went off in different directions. Chet disappeared into the funeral procession and threw the man in black off track. Alan casually hid us from view and guided us to a safe hiding spot. Will you tell me why you were gone? The atmosphere was suffocating. Bray's father hesitated for a second, then spoke. I knew that I did you wrong. In the end, I couldn't resolve anything, and your mother died. He kept his voice low and controlled, but it sounded incredibly sad. Won't understand if you apologize without any explanation. Please explain it to me. I tried to calm down Brett before he got worked up again, so I gently placed a hand on his back. Brett seemed to understand and took a deep breath. I used to be a part of a certain gang when I was young. The precursor to Gang 66 that you're currently part of. Huh? On the outside, it may look like I'm dependable, so they just entrusted me with a lot of money, but the truth is that I'm just a cowboy. I was prohibited from telling anyone that I belonged to that gang. One day, they asked your mother where the money was. You had just been born. I couldn't dodge the question and shirk the responsibility. I wanted to let my family know that I was a member of the gang, but who would have believed me? The money and the team were under my supervision. I was being monitored. Brett looked shocked. You don't believe me? I get that. I was in charge of all of the transaction. They needed my knowledge and connections for that. The only reason I wasn't killed was probably because there wasn't anyone to replace me. Is that the truth? Yes. Brett's face contorted. It looked like he might burst into tears again at that moment. I didn't know you were a gang member. And that it was a predecessor to Gang 66 on top of that. Mom and I just thought you drank a lot. Sorry. Brett, 66 is quite vicious. After you were born, they forced me to hand over the money. On top of that, you, who were my weak spot, joined them. It's not like that. Everyone treated me really well. I won't deny that. Regardlessly of how it started, I didn't know what happened after you joined the gang. Brett clenched his teeth in frustration. Nope. Gonna talk to him. I think your friends are depending on you. That's why I thought when I saw you talking to each other before. It would be great if that were true. Brett smiled weakly. But you should get away as soon as you can. That's impossible. I knew that it might be impossible straight away, but you should think about it. You know that I'm in no position to give you advice, but there are many kids out there on the street that couldn't go to school, and I don't think that's solely the fault of our country's regulations. I think some people were aiming to have those kids join a gang. No way. Now that you mention it, there may be some truth behind that. But in the end, everyone still has a choice and decided whether they want to join a gang or not. So they can really only blame themselves. That's right, Brett. It looks like you've turned out to be much stronger and more determined than I am. I can only be grateful to your mother for raising you. Brett's father looked after the funeral procession. Brett's eyes also flickered over to the crowd. I became strong because you weren't around, but my mother became weaker. Brett sounded very much like a kid in his rebellious stage when he said that. Brett's father just smiled. There wasn't a single day that I didn't think about you. I'm glad I met you. Brett's father crumbled. He covered his face with one hand. That his father would clear up the hatred between them like this. He even mentioned how glad he was that he got to meet his son. It was enough to make anyone cry. Keep an eye on you from now on. Brett's father slowly turned his heel and walked away. I thought Brett would say something, but his eyes were brimming with tears when he looked up. I was sure they would overflow the moment he opened his mouth. So I saw his father off instead. Brett, I'm glad the two of you talked. Brett didn't respond as he wiped away the tears roughly with the back of his hand. That's it back, Hinata. Brett looked as if he were bracing himself. After the funeral, Brett and I returned to the motel. Going back to the apartment would be dangerous, and we didn't have anywhere else to go. Sorry for making you please sleep in such a stuffy place.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're protecting me after all. That's true, but somehow you're always the one to support me in the end. Brett let out a deep sigh. So much bad stuff had happened. I'm glad I could help you through it. Yes, without you, I wouldn't have made it. He said it casually, but my heartbeat sped up. It might have been selfish of me, but I realized how important Brett was to me. The urge to protect him was getting stronger and stronger. I feel like such a turning point only happens once in a lifetime. If I had been alone, I would have had no idea how to get through it at all. Right now, you're all I've got. Brett said that I was all he had. I was worried about him because he was so precious to me. That's why I couldn't hold back any longer and pulled him into a hug. It was the first time I felt such a deep affection for anyone.
Thank you, Hinata.
Thank you, Hinata. Yeah. I do know, Basrock. Yeah. I liked his character. I'm still not sure about Chet, though. Brett's voice was gentle as he hugged me back. I do my best to become an even stronger person. All of this happened because I was weak. I thought I could be strong, but I was just kidding myself. His voice is so nice. No matter what kind of circumstances I face, I won't get involved in anything bad anymore. I won't let myself be manipulated by those people. I always thought I understood that, when in fact I didn't. I was wrong all along. I didn't choose the right path to protect my mother. Now she's no longer here. So all I'm left with is regret. Your mother may be not here anymore, but I'm sure she's watching over you from somewhere. So you know how to make the right decisions in the future. Next time, you choose the right path. Brett looked at me. His eyes were desperate, but burning with determination at the same time. The right path? Brett muttered to himself and then shook his head a little. Will you be there? Will you be there with me? That goes without saying. A smile bloomed on Brett's face. I wondered when I'd last seen him smile like this. Then I have decided. I will wash my hands off that gang and find a proper job. That's the right path, don't you think? Yes. The two of us smiled at each other. Man! It had been a long time since I smiled like that. However, it wasn't that easy to wash his hands off the gang. Brett and I thought about ways to get him away from the gang. But it wasn't easy. The odds weren't in our favor. The other gang members were after his life since he'd been branded as a traitor. We had to solve those problems one by one. We didn't know what the future held in store for us, but we had to go on. Decided. Oh, that's a flashback. Let's see. After Brett made his bold declaration, we tried for several days to figure out a way of reaching that goal. But it turned out to be quite difficult. Hinata, let's go out tomorrow. Brett had been out for a while. The moment he returned, that's what he told me. Go out? Where? It's a good place. It might help us with our future. Where is it exactly? It's a secret. I only just heard about it, so I have my doubts about it too. don't want you to get your hopes up. You already got my hopes up. I'd already gotten all excited and wanted to check it out immediately. But Brett wants to keep it a secret, so... I won't ask about it again until tomorrow.
Oh,
Thank you. I'd like to head out early in the morning, so we should get some rest. Okay, I go and switch off the lights. After I turned off the lights, we could see the moonlight pouring in through the window. I could regularly see Brett's outlines against the moonlight. Shall we sleep? I thought he was bidding me goodnight, but then I noticed him slipping under my blanket. What are you doing? Your bed is right over there. Is this not okay? We like each other after all. Yeah, but...
nah.
I want to put my arms around you so I can sleep better. I feel that. I do that too. You can be my pillow. Brett wrapped his hand around my hips and pulled me close. Our bodies are pressed up against each other. The realization made my heart beat loudly. I could feel Brett's breath against my forehead. I shouldn't think about that too much. It wouldn't be good if I became over-conscious about it. I wondered why Murphy's Law always seemed to apply at times like this. I could feel Brett's body heat radiate through his clothes. With my hand pressed against his chest, I could feel his pulse quickening. I couldn't help but notice all of these little things about him.
Hinata, gachi gachi.
What? Okay. That came kind of unexpected. I'm not. I don't mean down there. I mean your body in general. Oh, why did I misunderstand him like that? Oh, does being so close to me make you nervous? Well, me too. Huh? I raised my face at those unexpected words. Brett smiled shyly and held my gaze. It's not really in my character to be nervous. I thought as much. When we first met, he was quarreling with his boyfriend. The Brett back then seemed a lot... Then it seemed a lot like me? Huh? I don't get the sentence, I'm sorry. It's just how I feel because I honestly like you. It's the first time I felt like this about anyone. His voice was filled with emotion and made me happy. Before I knew what I was doing, I pressed my face against Brett's chest. Can you hear my heartbeat? It's saying that I like you. Oh my god, this is so cheesy. I know. All I could do was nod. I thought that if I said something, I must start crying. Thanks to you, I think I sleep well tonight. Please stay with me forever, just like this. Oh, that's so cute. I wondered if he heard my answer. My voice was husky and very soft, so he might have not heard it. But that was okay. I'd have plenty of chance to tell him from now on. I was sure of it. Good night, Brett. I thought it silently as I looked at Brett's sleeping face. Before I closed my eyes, the only thing I wished for from the bottom of my heart was his happiness. Yeah, so cute. Episode 10. Hydration time, guys. Our first plan of action was to stop by the graveyard. After the funerals a few days ago, Brett heard from his father. He revealed a very peculiar place where he had stashed money away. I didn't think that he'd actually had anything here. Maybe he thought that no one would think of this location. Places like the bank would probably be dangerous. I see. It just so happened that no one else was visiting a grave. The two of us were the only ones in the graveyard. Brett pretended to be putting flowers on the grave while he felt around the tombstone for the money. I kneeled down beside him and placed my hands together. Brett quickly put the money in his bag. It seemed to be quite a lot of money, but Brett got the job done quickly. Are you praying the Japanese way? I am. He was looking at the way I placed my palms together. After stowing away the money, Brett kneeled down beside me and mirrored my movements. I think I finally come to accept it. At the funeral, I was still confused, and then my father showed up. Right now, I feel like I've come to terms with the fact that my mother is dead. He stared at the tombstone, his palms still together. His profile looked very sad, but also extremely gentle. You've grown a lot in this short amount of time, haven't you? I hope you're right. At that moment... So you did turn up here, as expected. As I swiveled around, I caught a glimpse of several men approaching us. Those people, they're Brett's friends from the Gang 66. I recognized their face and a chill ran down my spine. You guys are really persistent. We need to collect your debt, don't we? I clung to Brett as he made to stand up.
Yeah.
It's fine, don't worry. There won't be a chance of running away if there are a lot of people, right? I'm worried about you, okay?
Yeah.
It's fine, trust me. Even if you say that. Hey, the two of you seem to be getting along well. The man's low voice made my body tremble. Hinata, just stay here. I don't want the both of us to die. Trust me and let me go. No, bro! Of course not! Oh god. Why didn't I just run in? I slowly removed my arm from around him. I tried to resist, but I gave it at the sight of Brett's eyes. They were full of determination. And just like that, Brett walked off and headed towards the other guys. That's when it happened. Oh no, it's this guy again! You're finally alone, Hinata. I heard a familiar curdling voice whispering in my ear. I felt something hard being jabbed into my back. It was probably a gun. I swallowed. What are you planning to do to me? You really want to know? I could hear the grin in Eiji's voice. His mouth was very close to my ear, and an unpleasant feeling bubbled up inside me.
Oi!
Say something. The gun dug deeper into my back, and I let out a gasp. A dull pain was spreading through my spine. Why don't you plead for your life or tell me how scared you are? I'm scared. I mean, you might kill me, right? I desperately tried to control my trembling voice. That's right, if you don't listen to me. For now, I'll let you choose. Would you prefer to be thrown in jail by the police or killed by me? Eh? I didn't understand what he was getting at and I found it hard to answer. I'll make you the scapegoat for the murder of the chairman of the university board, who also happens to be the CEO of a wealthy organization. Would you like it to look like you committed suicide or spend the rest of your days in jail? It's your choice. No way. At that moment, I heard a dull thump and reflectively turned around. Eiji slowly collapsed. What just happened? Eiji had still been holding the gun as he toppled on the ground. But when I looked at the person behind Eiji, I understood. I see, so that's what it was all about. Look at his happy face! Yeah! Brett smiled complacently and held his hand out towards me. I took it without hesitation and Brett pulled me towards him. Are you alright?
Hi.
Yes. Eiji was unconscious at my feet. Brett took his gun just in case and chucked it away. But you followed your friends just now. Yes, that's because I expected something like this to happen. Something like this? That my friends would attack us the moment we came here and that someone would make a move against you. If you put it like that, it makes sense. That's why I hired Alan. Alan? Yeah, he's a professional assassin. He's good at the job. Alan is an assassin? I knew that he wasn't the simplest of people, but I've never expected him to be a professional killer. It felt as though I was in some kind of movie. My buddies are quite beaten up. They won't make another move against us for a while, so we're okay for now. They weren't killed, right? They weren't. I hate killing. I'm glad. You're such a strange person. Huh? Brett's face split into a grin and he ruffled my hair. Even though they have nothing to do with you apart from the fact that they wanted to hurt you, you're still glad they aren't dead. You have a good heart. It was the natural thing to do. Also, because they are friends. I'm glad they weren't killed. Brett laughed out loud. Why are you laughing? It's nothing. I was just thinking that you really are the best. I don't get what you mean.
Yeah.
You don't have to understand, but once again, I'm glad that I fell in love with you. Regardlessly of how you feel, I think I won't regret these feelings as long as I live.
ありがとな。
Thank you, Hinata. This is cute. My chest tightened. I wondered why it hurts so much. Is it normal for a heart to hurt this much and to feel like crying when you like someone? I didn't know what to say to Brett as he stood there in front of me, a work grin on his face. We made our way from the graveyard back to the motel. So the first step was a success. And we also found out why you were being targeted. Brett put down the heavy bag containing the money.
ね
Well, have you become the scapegoat? This is a flashback thingy again. Commit suicide? No, we don't want to commit suicide. Thank you. I'm glad. I do feel sorry that I didn't get a chance to thank Alan though.
は
You know, Hinata, if you thanked him for helping me out, it would be as though. Brett flashed me a mischievous smile as he peered into my eyes. It would be as though I were your boyfriend. Yeah? No, it wouldn't. It's not like that. He helped me too. Brett's skin broadened even more than at that. What's wrong? Just accept it already. What? Saying that would only make me embarrassed.
えっと
Brett? Brett ruffled my hair and I looked up in surprise. You're so cute.
あの
So, what's next?
あ
You actually changed the topic. Well, okay, you're talking about the next step to get me away from the gang, right? Yes, I think we'll be able to ensure your safety with all that money. That's good.
あ
Brett didn't look convinced and furrowed his brows.
いや
I don't want to use the money for that.
あ
It's dirty money and earned by all those wrong means. Then what did you collect the money for?
No.
I consider it to be settled money my father kept for me leaving my past behind.
と
The past when you were part of the gang?
あ
Yeah, I returned this money to Gang 66 and split with them. The money will go back to where it belongs and I'll start a new life. Oh, so that's what you want to use it for. It made sense, but would it really go that smoothly? It sounded as if it could work, but it was still dangerous. What's wrong, Hinata? Don't look so grim. Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to force a smile and Brett probably noticed. He looked at me suspiciously.
おい
What are you thinking about? You're probably worrying about all kind of useless stuff again, aren't
い
you?
え
It isn't useless. You always mock me when we talk about serious things.
えっ
I think it's a good thing to want to brighten up the atmosphere, but I think it can be obstructive too. Brett's mouth fell open. I just wanted him to stop fooling around so much when we were having a serious conversation. My tone of voice might have been a little too stern because Brett didn't
あ
reply.
の
I'm really worried about you. So I hope you're serious considering all of this. What could happen? It's my fault. Don't get so upset. You apologize like it's nothing, but I don't think you really mean it. You're being quite harsh.
いえ
I've just been too nice about everything. Even though you can be fearless and cool when we're in danger. Huh? What did you say? I'm cool?
ちょっと
See? You're making jokes again. Oh, you can be scary. My expression didn't change and Brett finally kept a straight face.
すまない
Really sorry, so please cheer up. I'll take it seriously from now on.
えっと
Really?
あ
Yes. I glared at Brett and he nodded
あ頼
seriously.
む
It's true. It's a bit of a habit of mine to fool around a lot. But from now on, I'll take it serious, because I mean it. Fine, I'll believe
Oh.
you. Even though I may joke around a lot, I'm always straight with you. Brett's reply made me happy, and I showed him a
No.
small smile. You know, Hinata, until now, I didn't think it would be that big of a deal if I died. But right now, I'm putting my life on the line for a reason, and I'm not doing it half-heartedly.
そんな
Why would you do that in the first place?
いや
The fact that I'm risking my life might make you angry again, but I know what I'm doing. In case you thought I wasn't taking this seriously or something. Brett's straight gaze made me believe that his words were sincere. I could feel my chest tighten. So you're putting your life on the line to leave Gang 66?
いや
It's not just that. My father and I will both leave the gang. Huh? That took me completely by surprise. But since they were father and son, it made sense that he thought about it like that. Even so,
そんな
you're going down a really dangerous road.
そうだ
Yes, we
No.
are. That's why I hope that you'll help us out. Me?
頼む
It may seem strange for me to rely on you like this, but you're the only one I can trust.
けど
The only thing is that I'm worried you won't be able to stay in America if you do.
あ
I don't want to get the person who matters most to me involved in this mess. I know that much
No.
for sure. So if you're going to push me away, you best do it now. Brett's eyes were perfectly clear as he looked at me. Was he being serious? He was leaving this up to me? My heart beat quicker and I became terribly nervous. So in the end, I wouldn't be able to attend university after all. If no one were here to protect me, AJ probably attacked me again. No, all that aside, I want to help Brett. I want to be with him. I wondered why I was hesitating.
な
Hinata, you really don't have to force yourself to do anything. I just told you how I
Tanuma.
feel. So I hope you can do the
け
same.
ど
I'm sure you have the determination for it. Otherwise, it would be best if you just got out of this situation straight away. Hinata. Brett's sad, intense gaze scorched my heart. We only have 2 more episodes. Should I help Brett? After asking me to make a decision, Brett just stared at me unblinkingly. His bottom lip was curving slightly. Brett? My stomach was in knots. Brett forced a smile even though he looked like he was about to cry. He's such an emotional person, but kind and strong at the same time. Was it too cruel to leave the decision to you? His voice was hoarse. I felt a stab on my chest. It was. I also felt the corners of my mouth go up, although I felt close to tears. Why am I laughing? When I'm feeling so sad. Brett ruffled my hair like he so often did at moments like this. His touch was gentle, but as expected, I felt the pain in my chest intensify.
またお前に怒られるかもしれねえけ
You
ど
might get angry at me
で
again,
も俺さ
but
お前のこと話したくないんだよ
I don't want you to leave.
俺のわがままで
I'm
お前
being
を話したく
selfish,
ない
and I don't want you to
俺
leave.
から離れた方がお前は幸せになれるって分かっててもそれでも絶対に話したくなんかないんだよ
Even though I know that you'll be happier without me, I really don't want to be
卑
apart
怯
from
だ
you.
ろ
Isn't that
情けねえ
terrible
だ
of
ろ
me? And cruel?
でも
I guess.
やっぱお前が好きだからさ
Simply because I like you so much. Brett drew his face closer to mine. I thought he was about to kiss me. I grew tense at the realization, but my heart was melting. I like him too. I wonder what would happen if I said it out loud. Ever so slowly, I peered up at Brett's face. His mouth was so close to mine, and our lips touched. Yes! Finally! I think Hinata is not the one to take the lead, so we'll take it easy for now. We'll take it easy. Oh, this is like reading fanfictions. Brett licked my lips before parting them and forcing his tongue out inside. Will I get problems if I want to upload this on YouTube, I wonder? I thought that I should read this, but at the same time, I didn't see why I should. My mind was a mess. His warm tongue was roaming around in my mouth, but suddenly he stopped. If you don't like it, bite me. Okay. My eyes flew open at his words. He said it as if he were testing me. I decided to rise to the challenge and met his tongue. We groped around purposefully, exploring every inch of each other. I was in kind of trance. My head was spinning as I lost myself in our passionate embrace. You're an amazing kisser. Brett drew away for a moment to trace my lips with his tongue. He piqued me lightly and began to kiss me again. I think I'm addicted to it now. What will you do about that? His eyes were glowing with a burning desire as he caressed my face. No! We are going all in! We will never get this chance again! Yeah! Oh! This is so cute! Oh! Oh. By the way, Hinata just said that he's feeling like a girl whenever he is with Brad, so yeah. When I lie in your arms like this, I feel utterly safe. Brad traced my back and hips with avid motions. He was being so gentle that I felt my heart melt. It's because you're so important to me. He pulled me against his chest, resting his chin on top of my head. Brad, do you often do stuff like this? Could I be hearing a hint of jealousy? I could feel him grinning against my hair. That's not it! Just accept it already. If you finally accept all of this, it'll mean that you're mine, right? I wanted to be Brad's. Why couldn't I just put it into words? They're so pretty, yeah, true though. You know, a deep kiss earlier made me realize I wouldn't be able to stop. I want to make you mine. Brett began to caress my body with his large hands. It took me by surprise, but my body reacted automatically and I leaned into him. How did we get here? My mind was spinning. Didn't expect you to be this turned on. I can see it in your eyes. You can't. He slipped his hand. Wait, until which point am I going to read this? Okay. He slipped his hand into my trousers. I jumped a little at his hand as his hand closed around me. His fingers were so warm. They were so warm, and I felt so embarrassed. What do you mean by you can't? Your words are telling me one thing, but your body is telling me something else. Brett's hand began to move up and down in steady motions. I wondered why I wasn't resisting at all. I still couldn't believe this was actually happening. My body was growing hotter and hotter. I felt my breath hitching. I'm sorry. Okay. Moving on. I want all of it. Excuse me. What was this sound? I couldn't stand it any longer and called out his name. He is so cute. The way he said that, man. He whispered into my ear in a sweet voice. All I wanted at that moment was to lose myself in him. Okay. I wasn't sure they would reach an agreement. The chances weren't high. Even so, I clung to even the smallest possibility, so I could go through with the plan. We had just arrived at the Brooklyn Bridge. Brett was carrying the money his father had left him. I was hiding nearby, keeping an eye on the situation in case he needed me. Hope that everything goes smoothly. I silently sent up a prayer. My nervousness reached its peak, and it took everything I had to stay where I was. Finally, a couple of men emerged from the darkness. 3 broad figures were surrounding a man with an ominous presence. If it came down to it, we wouldn't be a match for them in a fight. Long time no see, Brett. The man's voice sounded so demanding that it scared the hell out of me. Long time no see, boss. Even with the distance between us, I could tell that Brett was nervous. You must be in a lot of trouble to want to meet me in a place like this. The man's voice was calm. Well, I never thought my own friends would be after my life. I guess I should have known better. Looks like you're still as thoughtless as you used to be. Yeah. So, what business do you want to have with me? I was pretty thoughtless too, considering I took you in the first place. Brett fell silent for a moment. He seemed to be thinking about something. It looked as if he had finally swallowed his nervousness. I brought you some money. Oh, this?
頼む
I hope that you stop tracking my father. Also, please let me leave the gang for good. There was another terrible silence. The gang that Brett's father belongs to, and Gang 66 that Brett had been a part of, they had the same leader. That meant that their roots ran deep. You contacted your father since he's been on the run. I knew that you didn't help him escape, so please tell me.
いや
Contacted him just for a few minutes. Of course, I have no idea where he is right now. Oh, the man gave Brett the once-over. The money was handed over. The man ordered the others to count the money. After this brief exchange, the man glared at Brett. Where did this come from? It's a huge sum. Brett didn't answer. I ask you where it came from. Are you trying to get on my bad side? No, Brett, please say something. Oh, this would be ridiculous to throw a small rock at this huge ass guy. I think dashing out of our hiding place wouldn't make the situation any better. I don't know. I feel like just sitting there and praying isn't the good way either. But throwing a rock at him would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't know. This is hard. What do I do? Oh man, I cannot decide. I kind of want to throw a rock. But would that be actually a good way? I don't know. I mean, if I would be in a situation like this, I will definitely throw a rock, but this might be just me. Just sitting there and pray? I don't know. I don't know. Screw it. I'm going to throw a rock. I needed Brett to say something, so I chucked a small rock in his direction. It hit his leg. Brett bit his lip.
Oh.
My father gave me this money. The man let out a bark of laughter. So that's it. Interesting. A moment later, his expression turned deadly serious. Tell me where it came from, Brett. The atmosphere suddenly grew dark and I could feel myself tense. Not going to let you go, even if that means there'll be one more corpse tonight. The negotiation failed? Brett covered his face. I thought you might say something like that. That's why... Brett suddenly pointed a gun at his head. It happened in the blink of an eye. A gunshot rang out through the silent night. Brett's body toppled over the side of the bridge, just like that. A moment later, there was a splash. I ran over to look at the dark water below. My hand was still... What?! Okay, I didn't see this coming. I had been the one to pull the trigger. It had Brett staged suicide. My fingers were tingling, but Brett still had to make a quick getaway before those men could retrieve his body from the river. Chat. The heck is happening in this game? I spotted Chad, who was waiting in the shadows on a small boat. He was pulling someone out of the water. Thank God. I rushed over to them to go on the boat as well. I immediately started moving. Brett, are you alright? Hey, if you cling to me like that, you get drenched too. I ignored him and held onto him tightly. I was so relieved that tears sprung into my eyes. We mustn't let our guard down until we're completely in the clear. I'm sure those guys will try to find Brett's body. When I turned back to see the man peering into the river from the bridge. Fortunately, they hadn't noticed the boat. I was so nervous. Of course you would be. You worked hard. Me too. Just watching it made me nervous. Your gunshot was perfectly timed. Did my best. Thanks. Brett chuckled as he ruffled my hair. He was alive. And he was a free man now. I felt a warm spread through my chest at the thought. But it's really alright to leave all the money behind. It was such a waste. I guess he's right. It's fine. My father saved up that money by cheating people. Really? So, where are you going to go now? It would be difficult for you to stay in this country, don't you think? Yeah, I know. I'll go far away. Brett's eyes were sad as he said that. This was his hometown, the place he'd lived in ever since he was a child. No matter for what reason, it would be painful for him to leave this place. Hey, Hinata, you're being very quiet. What's wrong? Still nervous? I shook my head. I'm okay. Everything went as planned. Yeah, it did. Brett grinned. But we'll probably have to leave soon. Chet, how is that fake passport coming along? It's all been prepared. You've given me what I was owed, so of course I did my job perfectly. What? You were owed? Money, of course. What does Chet do exactly? The bridge looked quite small from so far away. Where would Brett go? And where would I be at that time? Brett? My chest tightened as I grabbed onto Brett's wet clothes. What's wrong, Hinata? You look like you're dying. I need to go with you. Huh? You don't have to. You have your own life too. No, if you're not there, I hate it. No matter where you go, I won't be able to deal with the person next to you, isn't me. Tears started welling up in my eyes. Brett mirrored my expression as he looked at me. He finally said something like that to me. I haven't said anything, but in the end, when I thought we have to part ways like this, I feel the same way. I'd die if I couldn't be with you. He pulled me to him. Brett's body was cold. Even if I couldn't warm him up, I could at least share the cold. So, we were still carrying a burden, but we would carry it together. Brett, let's go to Japan. Come to my country. Japan? That doesn't sound bad. He drew me in for a kiss. You guys are so energetic. Chet's voice was distant, and I felt like nothing could reach me right now. Ah, I was worried for a second, to be honest. But everything is fine now. As for the organization, they seem to have let it go after they couldn't find Brett's corpse. Why is the sound so loud? Oh my god. As for your father, I managed to contact him. Are you okay with meeting in Japan? Everything was going as planned. And I have been able to return to this apartment temporarily, although I thought I'd never see it again. Brett and I exchanged looks and nodded. I knew I could rely on you, chap. Thank you very much. Really. It was nothing. Every time we tried to thank Chap, he was strongly off saying that there was no need for it. Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention to the lyrics. Hey, if you're thanking people, shouldn't you be thanking me too? Ella made an unhappy face as he glared at us. Of course I want to thank you too. Thank you very much. I inclined my head towards him. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Really? That's nice to hear. But I don't have any more money. But it's not about money, right? We're friends after all.
いや
Actually, it is about money.
そうですね
Same goes for me. I wouldn't be doing this much if I wasn't getting paid. No way. Although they had been hired and paid in cash, I thought some part of it was goodwill too. I felt myself getting worked up a little. Brett flashed me a knowing smile to calm me down. Don't worry, Hinata. No matter what Shadowlanders say, they help us if we need them. If that weren't the case, you wouldn't have been asked them for help in the first place. Brett smiled lightly, as if there weren't a single cloud in the sky, and it brightened my mood.
おやおや
Aren't you overestimating me a
い
little?
や
Well, you always took care of me when I was drunk. That's because I didn't want the house to get dirty. Don't try to deny it. I didn't know who to believe. But Brett seemed to believe Chad truly was a good person. So I tried to believe it too. You too, Alan. You use harsh words, but you've always treated me kindly. You helped me out a lot. It's because even if you're late every single time, you always pay the rent. So I can't really get rid of you, even though none of the others ever used me. Ever caused me this kind of trouble. You're kind indeed. Brett was sizzling with energy, which made it hard for me to interrupt him. Even though he was usually like this, for some reason he seemed even more cheerful today. I guess it's because we're saying our goodbyes
お
today.
や
All joking aside, Hinata went all this trouble to come here. Is it really okay for you to go back to Japan like this? Well, there have been a lot of incidents over the past few days. I can study somewhere else. I saw my spoken English. Brett will teach me. Brett's just a gang member, you know. What is he going to teach you?
あ
I'm not a gang member anymore. Fine, so you're an ex-gang member. Somehow, that sounds pitiful. Hinata likes... You like that, doesn't he? Something like that. Everyone's eyes were on me. I felt embarrassed and happy all at once. I guess, you're not wrong. You often make fun of yourself for that, don't you, Brett?
おい
Hey, watch it! Brett pulled me into a headlock. Ow, that hurts, Brett. Shit. It seems like I need to demonstrate how strong and manly I am. Brett laughed as he kept holding on to me. You guys, if you're going to flirt, we leave you two alone. It's true, we need to make ourselves scarce. They said it, Hinata. Shall we go to my room then? Please don't say it in such a weird way. Doesn't bother me. But it bothers me! We caused a little uproar, and in the end we went to Brett's room to pack our luggage. Parting ways with them is going to be really hard. We can't stay here any longer though.
なあ
Let's keep our luggage to a minimum. Is that all you have? You really didn't have much luggage with you to begin with. Yeah. It was perfectly true. On the first day I had arrived here, I was cheated out of the apartment I was supposed to stay at, and the whereabouts of my luggage were unknown. Ever since the very beginning, my life over here had been a mess. Hey, Hinata. What's up?
あ
What's Japan like? I've never left this country before. Brett questioned me while he was packing his luggage. Oh, I'm not sure how foreigners feel Japan. Well, for one thing, Japanese food is delicious. That's actually true.
は
Do you think I'm picky about food? That's not what I meant. More importantly, get over here. I don't want to pack anymore armor. It's almost dawn, so
一回
I want to touch you
今
right
すぐ
now.
お前を抱きたい
Brett's sudden declaration made me freeze. Brett was looking at me very deliberately. That's why I couldn't refuse him.
なんかもう我慢できねえし
It's okay, right? I just can't hold back anymore. It's already... Brett pulled me over to him. Our bodies were so close I could feel Brett's body heat through his clothes. Ah, let's go! Come on, let's go! That was all it took for my body to grow hot. I felt my desire for Brett bubbling up inside
そん
me.
なに焦らなくても
There's
ま
no
だま
need
だ
to
これから
rush.
時間はありますよ
We'll have plenty of time from now
け
on.
ど今は今しかない
But we're here right
今
now.
のお前も今の俺も今しかいないんだよ
I should concentrate on the moment, on you and me, right now. My chest was burning up at his words. We slowly closed the distance between us. Then our lips touched. My heart seemed ready to burst at his mouth moving against mine. No matter where we are, I never want to let you go. His breath was warm against my ear as he whispered those words to me. Bright's voice always seemed to reach deep into my soul and made me melt inside. His tongue moved inside my mouth. It was getting harder to breathe and I wanted to pull away and go on forever at the same time. I leaned into Brett's chest and kissed him more deeply. Love every part of you. Brett's hand slipped under my shirt and moved across my bare skin. I most unwillingly let out a sigh. Like hearing it, so don't hold it in. I want to hear you more and everything. After Brett said that, I stopped holding back. And I liked it. Never wanted to let that feeling go. This is so cute, okay? This picture is so cute. The morning sun was so bright that I had to shield my eyes against it. I woke up. My body was heavy and I felt like going back to sleep. Finally awake. Brett was hugging me while the two of us were still completely naked. After we were done, you fell asleep straight away. You know that it's a no-go. Brett was skinning broadly. The sight of him in the bright sunlight was so nice. That's not true. Oh, what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm just using you as my pillow. Isn't Hinata using him as his pillow? I mean... I tried to bury myself beneath the blanket, but Brett wouldn't let me. He pulled down the blanket to expose my flushed face. Isn't it a little too late to be shy? We did have all kinds of fun last night, didn't we? Please shut up! No, I won't. Brett's face lit up before me. I didn't know what to make of the situation. One blinked slowly. Shall we make you less shy by going for another round? What are you talking about? We have to go soon. There's still time. Chad is still asleep too. But we still need to finish packing. I'll be done with that in a minute. But... Don't try to make up silly excuses. Just let me touch you. I didn't want to get myself into mischievous while you were asleep, so I've been holding myself back until you woke up. Okay. Thanks to that, I'm all worked up and full of energy right now. See? Why are you hitting me? Because you have a dirty mind. All men do, don't they? Not me. Oh, okay. That's a lie. You did have a couple of vulgar things to say last night to make clear how much you liked it. No. What? At that very moment, we heard a loud bang on the door. Oi. Of course. You guys are too noisy this early in the morning. Ellen entered the room and we both felt silent. My face turned bright red. The situation was so awkward that I hoped we would get going soon. But I realized how much fun it would be to be with Brett like this forever, and how happy it would make me. With that in mind, I faced my new life and took a step forward to the future that was waiting for me. Yeah! Guys! We did it! We did it! What's in here?
heavy gym. Jesus help us hold and join. Ain't got nothing for the quick outcome. I gotta go.
Okay, those are the images you can get. Okay.
Down the street tonight.
Yay!
Around by the heavy gym. Jesus help us hold and join. Ain't got nothing for the quick outcome. I gotta go.
Let's move over here. Guys, we did it! We got it! And we also got the good ending. Yeah, I just want to check on Steam how many endings there are for every guy. 3? What the heck? Good ending 2 in Brett's route. And normal ending. There are 2 good ending and 1 normal ending. We don't want normal endings in here. We are going for the good endings. But actually I want the pictures, so maybe I'm trying this and show you guys the pictures. So, are we going for Ellen next or for chat? What do you think? Just gonna move chat over here. So, this might be better. I think I kind of want to do Ellen next. Because I'm still not sure what to think about chat, so... yeah. Maybe we are going to do Ellen next. I think. Hope you guys are okay with this. I think I need more light here. Because my face is kind of rigged from time to time. Let's see. This is fine. Yeah, you guys are okay with Ellen, I guess. Hopefully. I have kind of have the urge to cosplay Brett, so maybe I need to ask someone else to cosplay Hinata. Yeah. Yeah, Assassin Boy. Let's go for Ellen next. Can do this next week. Because tomorrow we are going to play Digimon. Yes, I finally found the Digimon game for PC. So we can do Digimon tomorrow. And then next week we can do the Dangerous Life for sure again. Because we need to get all the routes. I want them all. And yeah, want to do some collabs again. I saw that Inside the Backrooms, which I play with Ilya, has a new level. So yeah, to be honest, I think it will take us at least 24 hours to get through the game and to get to this new level anyway. Because, yeah, you know, I'm just running in circles and Ilya is always dying, so... yes, yeah, also, I think we should do some Pico Park. Right? Rendra, I'm looking at you. Going for Pico Park. Perfect team, yeah. Ilya and I are a perfect team. One is always lost and the other is always dying. So yeah, I guess that's a good combo. Yes! Pico Bar collab is happening. Yes, yes. So, yeah. But we did it for today, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I was so, ayo. I'm actually kind of curious if all the other two boys will also take this much time for the relationship to grow. I mean, they only know each other for what, like 3 weeks or so? So it's not actually slow burn. But I'm wondering if the other two will take their time too, or if it will happen earlier, you know? But yeah, we will find out, I guess. We will find out next time. True Love speedrun? Yeah, True Love speedrun. Let's see. Let's find out if Ellen is the slow burn or not. We will see. Anyway, I hope to see you guys around tomorrow for Digimon. Come and cheer me on. Yeah, also, if I saw this right, Aragumon should be the main Digi in this game. So, actually satisfied with this. So I think we could have a good time tomorrow. Can do some Digimon training and chill out together and talk a little. Love to see you guys around then. So I will get going now. And yeah, see you guys around tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, guys, have a nice evening. Go eat or sleep or do whatever you're gonna do. And yeah, then I'll see you guys around tomorrow, okay? Good night. And have a nice evening and see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.